I think I have a modular building addiction. Yeah. And welcome to the MacLeod Barrow. My name's Kev and this is another crafting video. Yes, this year I've been on a modular terrain, modular building rampage. I've remade all my buildings and made a modular. I took my old, I think this video was only for patrons only, but I took my old, I think I called them the Arnold houses. It's the most popular video on this channel, and I converted them into the modular style. And now I'm looking, I need some sort of houses that look like they belong on a beach or a lake, and I thought, let's make those modular. And again, all these parts can be interchangeable, so just because I'm making them to be this, I can use perhaps the wooden parts of them in other buildings that I've made previously to really vary it up. This could be great for Middle-earth strategy battle plans, which I am one of myself, because these are effectively being inspired, borrowed, nicked, stolen from Games Workshop's Laketown houses. These are an excellent kit, which I don't own. I've seen in the flesh and they're so detailed. I don't own. I may buy one soon, but yeah, these are inspired by those. It's basically making those but modular, so I can mix and match. So, yeah, sorry about that. Summer, window open, main road. Yes, so if you know of any groups, Facebook groups, Reddit page group things that this may be of interest to, share it around for me. That would be lovely. Yes, let's make some Laketown houses. So for this, we are going to use some bits of foam that are the same dimensions as previous. So just in case, it's 1 3/4 inches, 2 bits at 4 inches, and 2 bits at 5.5 inches. And the only real difference is this time I'm using this soft foam board. I bought this for my DM screen, and I was expecting to be normal foam board. But what this is foam board without a layer of card paper either side. It's just foam. You could of course just use XPS or foam board and remove the paper. What I'm going to do now is let's do 2 at a time. Is come in and put a plank pattern on, with each plank being about 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Now what I'm going to do is run the pencil, in this case, up and down to really engrave the pattern in. Wire brush to add in some plank textures. Do that on all of them. One thing I do different now to what I did before is windows and doors I'd measure out, whereas now I've made templates so I can just quickly trace around them with ease. So I can put a door in here like so. You can have a window here. I'm having sort of rounded top windows this time to be a bit spiffy. So yeah, this is all just pretty much standard what I've done before, so I'm just going to carry on doing that. And also you'll need floors with stairs that I've done before, so I'm not going to show that either. Assemble it as normal. Going to plank it still, just a few here, here, here and here, just to add a bit of extra element to it. Even though this is wood, still going to have beams as it were. I'm going to plank it. I'm going to be having something like this. I've just added a bit of detail pattern on the bottom here, sort of some rounded bits of bottom planks like the Games Workshop models of Laketown, took inspiration from that. They've got a nice little detail bit here. One place, I think it's on this side actually. haven't done that, but you feel free to do that. Just do it the same way as tiles. I might even go back in and retrospectively add that in. It's now time for painting. So for this, I am going to recommend you seal it, because this foam that I'm using is quite soft. So if you use different foam, you may not have to. So I'm going to seal it with Mod Podge, and if I'm going to seal it with Mod Podge, I'm also going to undercoat it at the same time, and we're just going to undercoat it in a burnt umber. So I'm going to do that now. Next, I'm going to go over with a sort of lighter brown and do a heavy overbrush in places. This is Go For Brown from Games Workshop for Citadel Paints. So I want this to be, well, really over weathered, really. And do it over all the wood, including the beams. And this to be sort of, it's on a lake or on the coast, really weathered. But not on the inside. Inside would be just on the outside, this one. Inside would be painted as before. And then a real heavy dry brush of Bane Blade Brown. Again, this is going on the beams, the actual wood down below. Just to get a nice weathered look to it. So you know, when you don't mind bits like this, because I'm trying to get for it is lovely. I like that. It's a good look. Not worried about indoors. The beams on this one, I'm going to paint shadow grey, but not all over. So going heavy, somewhat heavy at the top, and going lighter at the bottom. And I'm even going to do this bit here in shadow grey, only on the outside. What I'm trying to achieve here is sort of a weathering effect. It looks like the paint's, looks like it was probably painted really nice at one time, and the paint's just all flaked off in the elements. Sometimes I'm going middle only. Times heavy at the top. Doing that with sort of weathered look. And a final thing to do is just hit it with a sort of tan. This I'm using Coat Arms Horse Tone Roaring. Love this for a this sort of thing. What I'm trying to do is on the beams just come in and hit it on the edges. Edge highlight dry brush if you want. And I'm going to come into the middle of the wood. How about on a building, changing the internal colour? Games Workshop painted one of theirs up red, so I'm going to try and mimic that by painting, leave not the boards, just the walls themselves. This is, what's this one? This a Fisting Red as a base. Again, pretty much how I've done the shadow grey on the last one on the beams. I'm just sort of dry brushing over and getting so it looks like the paint's weathered off, flaked off, worn off, faded in the sun. I'm not worried about getting a nice even coverage here. In fact, I don't want an even coverage. Now coming in with some, what these paints called, I don't use them very often, Evil Sun Scarlet. I'm going to come in and just, as it gets near to the wood, make it look like a lighter red. And finally, Wild Rider Red. This is just going to be at the end here, really sort of blend it into the wood. And don't forget to do the same with the red one if you're doing it this style. I'm going to go heavy on the beams with the tan colour, so I have lighter beams on this one. And I'm going to also put it on here, so I'll blend in the red in with the wood more. Trying to really get a nice weathered look. Doors I've pre-glued onto some cards, so I can just glue them onto the back, but I'm going to paint them before I glue them in as normal. And I'm going to paint them hawk turquoise mixed in with some emerald green. So it's a turquoise mixed in with an emerald green colour. To begin with, give that sort of look. Give the doors a wash of a green wash. This in particular is Corlia green shade. Let's get into the textures we've given it. Mixing a bit of snot green to the original mix, just to give some nice bit of dry brushing. At the top, go in heavier, and into this mix a bit of scorpion green to lighten it up, and I'm just going to go around the top and dot its places. This would have been the original colour of the door before it got weathered and grimed up. Bottom end of the door, just going to dry brush some gold 4 brown. Across it. Finally, some Bane Blade brown. That's our door. Got to put a handle on. That's just, we've seen that done before. That's just a ring hoop, so I'm not going to show you that. That's how I'm going to paint my doors. Gets a bit of weathering on there. Okay, so the main reason for making this video is not really to show you the techniques. You all know how to engrave wood pattern in. Maybe the paint scheme might be useful, but anyway, this is how they look at the moment. I've got to put a wood beam down here. Not going to worry about showing you that. The knockers on, but yeah, the main reason for this is more the detailing work, including obviously the paint work. So you can see the red one here as well. That's all dry. But it's the detailing work. Taking inspiration from the Middle Earth strategy battle games, Laketown houses. I want to make these look like they belong by a lake or by the coast. And with that, they've got little detailing work on the walls, like nets hanging off the walls and pots and pans and what have you. So I'm going to do that. And for this, really, this is mainly about doing that, detailing work, the nets. So what I'm going to do is take an old pair of swimming shorts. These are a bit too short for my liking, really. And for this, it's because they got an inner netting lining in swimming shorts, in board shorts, and this is going to be perfect to make a netting. So I'm going to cut this up and go from there. Okay, so I've got a bit of mesh cut up. Don't need to be that long. Got some Mod Podge here, because what I need to do is cover this bit in Mod Podge. It's a bit sticky, this bit. What I want to do, kind of want to get it to be twisted, but sort of stay in that kind of shape. Sort of an M shape. And for a sort of hanging net, same sort of process, a little bit, sort of rectangle. I found it easier just to soak it like this, really, so you get nice good coverage of the Mod Podge, and just put it into a hanging shape like that. When you're done, you'll be left with something that's quite solid. What I want to do now is come in with some watered down sepia wash, and I'm just going to give it a wash and dirty it down. I'm using some dirty water here. The previous project is full of green to add a bit of green to the mould, a bit green. You don't want a perfectly new fishing net, you want to look like this has been used. Don't worry about the back, we're going to glue that on where you're going to see it. And all that's left to do now is glue it in place. One other thing I have done is I've got this little plastic lid thing. I think it come from a glue actually. It was like what was sealing the glue in. So I kept it, put it in my Bix box, and I just turned it into a wicker basket. Just by sort of scoring a bit of a pattern in and painting it up. May not look perfect, but it will do. Always worth saving little bits like this. It will look like a little hanging pot, kind of like what's inspired by the Games Workshop version. And all that's left to do now is to get some glue. And we're just going to glue all the bits into place. There we go here. This onto that hook. Yes. To there. Like so. Pretty darn cool. And with that, we are done. This is what you'll end up with, something like this. You may be sort of saying, what about the floor? Don't need those, we've built those in the past. Similarly, you might be asking, what about the roof? Well, again, likewise, I made loads of roofs with modular buildings. This is from the Arnor ones that weren't modular at the time, but I've made them modular. I think that was a free video for Patreon, just watching me do that. So I'm just going to use that, because it's like a wooden shingle roof that I can just put on. I got a roof. I don't really need to worry about keep making roofs and floors. It's just the exteriors. And yes, it's still summer here. I'm done recording to my windows open. I'll roll on autumn when I can close windows and not die of heat. But that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little step into Middle Earth, really. I know you'll probably see these, or have seen them already, in a video in my D&D waffle sessions. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Till the next video, guys. Stay safe. Take care.